In this video, I want to show you a trick that I use to modify some of my mixed media backgrounds and replace some of the colors. In this case, this is a background that I created. It's not finished yet, but when I'm confident that I want to use a stage in the development process, I usually just go ahead and scan it, and I use it either for a background in my cards, or even try to figure out a way how to make it a pattern. But today I'm sharing these lovely, I love the colors. The design is not finished yet, but I still wanted to go ahead and show you how I changed this gold color that I don't like. After I did the lines, I didn't really like it too much. I prefer the silver color, so I want to change that to at least back silver, or even another color that could probably match better this design. So I am zooming in very close. The first thing I always do is I always duplicate my originals, make sure that I keep one available in case I make any mistakes and I have to revert back, or just to change colors later on. But today let's replace this gold color and try to make it either silver or white or something different that looks a little bit better in this mixed media background. So the first thing, duplicate. Once I duplicate, I like using this the magic one, which is called the flood selection tool here in Affinity Photo. And then usually I leave the tolerance between 5, 10, 15, smaller numbers. And in this case, I am not going to select contiguous because I have two sections. One section here where I have that gold color or yellow color, and this other section here. So I want to try to select as much of that as I can. So let's try 15% in my tolerance, and let's see how that looks in my, let's go select that. It's doing a very good job. I want to get closer to see what other areas is not picking up, and it looks like some of these little bits of darker color are not being picked up, but for the most part it's doing a really good job of picking up. So I want to pick up this lighter one, so I hit the wrong one. I hit control instead of shift, so I want to hit shift because shift will help me add to that specific selection. So I added a little bit lighter, keep the shift and select those darker colors, and it looks like I have a very good selection now, so I can move on with this one. So the next step is create a new layer right above that one, and I want to, in that new layer, I want to fill that layer with a different color. So I want to select the flood fill tool and get very close. I think the challenge is going to be I may have to do it in multiple times. Let's try that. So in that selection, in that new layer, use the flood fill tool, and let's pick a color that it's at least lighter. So I like this beige color here, so let's pick that, and see, it did a really good job on the one here at the top. It's looking good. Most of it is selected, and I have a new color, as you can see, and let's look at the one at the bottom, and it looks like it's doing a good job on this one as well. So now I want to I just want to do it one more time, fill with maybe in a new layer with a different color, just to play around. Let's try this beautiful lovely blue that I like a lot. It's close to this color, so select the flood fill tool in the new layer and fill with that other color. So now I can hit escape to deselect the top layer. It's the blue color on that specific gold selection, and the second layer here is the beige color. I still don't like the beige color, so what I want to do is I'm going to go to adjustments, and I'm going to go to HSL, which is the hue, saturation, and lightness. And usually when you remove all the saturation and you bring it all the way in the luminosity or lightness all the way to 100%, it starts bringing it back to kind of a white color. Let's see how that works. It's white, as you can see. It's lighter than the original beige color, so that's a little bit better. So I want to play a little bit here with these blend modes and see if I can find something, maybe using the color and the hue. I don't see that it makes any difference. Well, it does. This one with the color, it makes it a little bit dull. One thing that I like when I use these blending modes is that it blends with the layer below, so it will keep a lot of that texture which I want. So I want to use either a color or hue, or there's another one that I like a lot here, that it's the add. It usually brings it very, very, very bright. Or the screen. I don't see a big difference between the add and the screen. Or lighten. These are my favorite if I want to try to get it to a bright white. So let's keep it a screen, and I like that it would try to give me a little bit some of that texture back. I think that's good. Just let's keep it for now. When you look at it, it still looks a little bit beige, so I want to try. Okay, so the next thing that I can do to try to get it even whiter is to probably duplicate that layer. See, it's already doing a really good job. I could just then, what I did there is basically just Control J, it duplicates the layer. I like that. You need to have both layers. I like that. But then on this second layer, what I want to do is to reduce the opacity just enough so it's not so bright, and maybe change it to screen, and the main layer as well, change it to screen, or add, change it to add. Okay, and now I prefer this white a little bit better than with that other layer below. It makes it look a little bit more blue, closer to the blues that I am using, but I think I'm gonna skip that one. The other thing I wanted to do was to go into each one of these layers, and the next step is basically I just want to select all three layers. I want to group that, and make a duplicate. Control J duplicates my group. I hide the group, and I have this second group that I created, and then here what I want to select is merge visible. Right click, select merge visible, and that's going to flatten it or make just one layer out of that. So I still keep my different colors in case I want to come back and make it different colors later, but now I have a single layer that I can use, and I can make a selection and bring it over to Affinity Designer to work on a simple either art print or even a pattern later on. So let's do a quick card. So just go over to the selection tools. When you click and hold in your selection tool, the freehand selection tool, there's an option here for a rectangular marquee tool. So let's use this one. And the scan doesn't look like it's very straight, but it still does a good job. So I want to make this selection of the area that I want to keep. Actually, I don't like that selection. Let's do a selection of the main area of the design. I want to move that selection just enough. And then one thing I can do is Control Shift I, and it inverses the selection. It's going to remove in this specific layer all that white around it. But then I noticed that I still have a little bit of that white on this side. So what I can do is just using that same rectangular marquee tool, I just want to make a rectangle and select that area only, and delete that white. So now I can either export it, just a art frame, or just go ahead and copy it. Use the selection tool, select it, Control C to copy, and then I'm going over to my Affinity Designer and creating let's start with a card, new 5x7 300 dpi. I don't usually create artboards yet. Maybe later I'll create an artboard. Hit create, and now I have a 5x7 300 dpi. So when I click right click paste, it's going to be a very large document because the original scan was 1200 dpi, so it does take a little bit, but I'm liking these. I can try to put it just and I want to kind of like, there's a little bit that it's outside here, but I want to just go ahead and like center it, and I have just enough on each side, and apply that, and I like it. I like it very much. Now the one thing that I can do in this one is like I always I like adding some pixel shadow borders here. So I have already, looks like I have already selected some of my favorite watercolor brushes. So now I just want to change the color. Let's pick a pretty color like this blue, and let's see if we can do in this layer right above it, we can do a little bit of a border. And let's change these to, I like, oh, that looks wonderful. Oh, it looks really good, color burn. And let's change that to maybe 75%, and let's see how it looks. Oh, I like it very much because it kind of frames here the center, and then in the center we can put some sentiment. Let's see, I want to try to finish, let's finish something here in the center. Let's go back to the pixel persona, and then let's our rectangle here, and then another one maybe here, and maybe another one here. I don't like the colors, so let's maybe just align in the center. And in this first rectangle, let's use the text tool, and then in this rectangle we can say always, and then in this one let's say thinking, and in this one let's see, oh, you. And the same thing, I like these, I select them. You can align in the center, and then select the selection tool, and then you can align in the center and align in the middle, each one of these. And one thing that I want to do is maybe increase the size to something a little bit bigger. I kind of like that, but I also think I want to put everything capitalized. So in order to do that, you just go here, select the character. This opens your character toolbox, and then down here you can select the all caps. And let's see, yeah, I like that better. So I am going to use that, always thinking of view, all caps. I'm done making any character changes right now, so close that. I like this size, it's 21. Probably a little bit too much. Let's see, 15. Okay, I like 15. And I think this is a really cool card. One thing that you can also do here is you can select both and then group them, so that when you move them, they're all they move together. So select the words and then hit shift and select the square, the rectangle, and then control G groups them. So now you have all of them in groups. I think I want to make this one just around the same size, and I kind of like that. And make sure that all three are also aligned in the center. I like that. And maybe I want to change the color of these, but I have one selected and I just want to go to select same fill color, and then it just selects all three of them. Or I could have just selected each one of them in the layers panel, but that's another option. And here I want to go to my swatches and let's try another blue. That blue, something a little kind of like that. Actually, I want to try some of these little teal color. I like that, but let's try this a little bit darker teal. I want to, okay, anyways, we can keep playing with it just a little bit more. Let's see what we like. I like that. It looks good. And in these boxes, another thing what we can do is we can select the stroke, and the stroke, we can change the appearance of the stroke. Sometimes using a brush that has some, let's see, this some texture in them would work as well for nice this very much. This one closes the whole way around, so that's probably a better one to use, and this one as well. Let's see this one. Okay, so we can use one of these. Of course, change the size to yeah, something we can see. It's about 3 pixels, and I want to change the color a little bit to something a little bit brighter. That looks interesting, and yeah, so that looks good. I have it selected here. I can go to my styles. One thing that I can do now that I have these stroke the way that I like it, I can add it to my styles. So just come here and add styles, from selection. So it shows here it says style number 8, and then I select this box, apply style number 8. Make sure I'm not selecting the group, that I am selecting the actual box, and then apply style number 8. The same thing here, it selects a group, and now selecting the box, and I have that same style applied to all of them. And now you can use this, print it out, and upload it to your print on demand for a greeting card, or print it at home and send it out to your friends and family. I hope this was useful and you learned something new. Thank you for watching. See you soon.